Welcome to New Year's Eve, last day of 2024. Current theme of strong southwester of the day with rain squalls continues. Just had a squall go through. Stopped raining at the moment. Oh, next squall is here. Well, still not the nicest of weather. We're still getting some showers through, but I'm sure we can make a start today and head up the coast tomorrow. Probably spend the night somewhere down near Northport or thereabouts. It's after lunch. What's it blowing? 15, maybe 20. That's right. We'll head off and see what it's like at the boat. It's not bad here at all, quite warm surprisingly in the helm enclosure, so we'll get the cover off and the instrument covers off and untie and head off. What we have left, probably come back for a reprovision of water at some stage, but not going to be permanent there for a month. We'll head down and pop the jib up when it's sensible. Well, we're coming up to Limestone Island. It's off the starboard bow. Whangarei's off the port side and just sailing under jib, aiming to get down to about Northport by evening, so no rush, take it easy. Well, it was blowing 23, 25 knots apparent, so quite comfortable. And obviously once we get behind Whangarei Point, things will calm down a bit. We're in the lee of Whangarei Point now, so things are calmed down a bit. Big power cat, obviously having a fish. So it's nice and sheltered in here in the enclosure and with ventilation bits open, very pleasant. Well, we're coming up to Northport. Got one fully laden log ship, it looks like. A couple of tankers down at Marsden Point. Okay, anchored at our usual place at Northport. A little bit lumpy with the seas coming down the harbour. The ship's ready to go. Crane stowed, logs got lashings over them, but may not leave on a public holiday. We'll obviously find out. There's Whangarei Point, looking back up harbour to whence we came from. Across to Manganese Point, mid-picture now. Taiharuru Bay entrance, and then around looking towards Munro Bay. Cloud Bay is around in there. And we have Mount Aubrey with Mount Mania in behind. Well, it may not be a stunning day, but certainly the cruise has started and I've had a celebratory haircut, so I'm going to have to be good with the hat and the suntan lotion. We have a group of fishermen on the wee wharf here. Very common place to fish. So a couple of access stops just there. Yeah, my plants have certainly grown since I was last aboard, so it's 2 days. Be able to have a bit of help with salad tomorrow. I've got a hydroponic unit for Christmas, so I've Got some soil raised plants that I've washed most of the soil off. It might not be the best weather, but people are still having fun. Here's the Aotearoa Chief heading up harbour to Portland for another load of cement. It's 6:30 and certainly reasonable weather for heading up the coast. So get breakfast underway and then make a start. Sails up, anchors up. We're on our way, and this boat here is pulling its anchor up. Right, well, we're on our way up the coast. We've got an incoming tide at the moment, so we will motor out through the entrance. See the speed log has stopped working again. It's a nuisance. It obviously needs a bit of clean. One of the tankers obviously left yesterday, but still got one here looking pretty empty, so it'll be going today, I'd imagine. There's Mount Aubrey on the left, Mount Mania in the head, with Little Munro Bay underneath. See the water coming into the harbour, tumbling over Mere Bank, which is here. And that thing that looks a bit like an oil rig in the distance is just some piles on the other side of Mere Bank. Now we're looking at the entrance, so it's Bream Tail mid-picture. We're going up the coast, so we'll be going along to Bream Head and then turning to port. Right, here's the end of Mere Bank. So I've been doing my usual, trying to stay out of the worst of the tide, so I'll now need to cross the channel to the other side. Tugs have arrived to take the tanker out. We'll be well out of their way. Well, there's Urquhart's Bay, usually full of boats using it as a stop as they go up and down the coast, but not with a strong southwest yesterday. It wouldn't have been that pleasant. No, you're not going to go through the gap. We're going to go around Frenchman Island, have a jibe. These guys have got some life baits out under balloons. And there is the Chicken Islands in the distance. And around here is Smuggler's Bay. So we're heading this way along south side of Bream Head. There's not much wind. We're on a run at the moment, so we'll motor until we get out of the worst of the tide. And there's Mount Manaia. And we've got one of the charter fishing boats going past. Well, we've got a little bit of a breeze, dead downwind, so probably not going to bother with the jib at the moment. But that's looking into Peach Cove. Not much to see at high tide, but there is a wee sandy beach. And we're looking down to Bream Head. There's a partially filled log ship going past the Hen, and then we have Sail Rock. I presume it's heading to the anchorage, because there's the southern anchorage with another log ship waiting, and that's Bream Tail in behind. The tanker has not yet appeared, and we're running east along the southern coast of Bream Head. Wind's coming up, so there's the end of Bream Head coming into view now. Well, the wind will become fickle as we get under the high cliffs surrounding Bream Head, so almost certainly be motoring a little bit, because that's going to be easier. In the past with Catman 2 I've gone a long way offshore and still ended up with very variable winds. So you can sail, but we're after being a little bit easier at the moment. Here's Guano Island appearing. Okay, we're around it, and it's Ocean Beach there, and Taiharuru Head in the distance, and we've lost the wind. Right, engine's going. Oh, we're passing inside Guano and should be in more consistent wind shortly. And of course we're heading that way. I've set a waypoint off Taiharuru, so that's Ocean Beach. There's Mount Manaia from behind, and then up here is Kauri Mountain, and of course we're heading that way, and we're full sail up now. Well, we're going fast enough to have the speed log going again. Oh, that means I can put some old displays up, so we should be at the waypoint at about 10 o'clock, about an hour from now. Oh, there's the tanker, so they have to go well outside the 4 nights as they're a marine reserve. Oh, there's Mount Manaia, and we're doing just over 8 knots now. Our forecast is still fairly reasonable, and wind should be getting a bit less as we get up the coast, so it's still coming across from Whangarei at the moment. We'll see. You can always pop a reef in underneath Taiharuru Head, and I've actually hardened up, so that's a possibility. We're coming up on Taiharuru, so we will pop a reef in. There's McGregor's Bay coming into view, Taiharuru Head. Mate Stuart to help me, and we're being passed by a launch. Passing Taiharuru Head, put in without any drama. Just harden the jib up with the main out, let it flap. The wind's down a bit, still gusting to 20, so speed's dropped a bit, but less anxiety provoking. Over there's Partau, so the estuary in the middle, the harbour wobbling a bit, and Frogtown Beach over here, and the motor camp we stayed in when the boys were little is just in behind there. Well, there'll be a few boats I would have thought heading back to Auckland. And this one up here with just the jib up, we're certainly still overtaking quite quickly. And we don't have a heel on for more than about 3 degrees. We've dropped a little bit of speed, but more comfortable. We're still doing reasonably well. They're presumably heading for Tutukaka, so we'll pass them. Well, we're coming up on Tutukaka, so there we have the 3 gables, very unconventionally named South, Middle and North. And South Gable's got the lighthouse on it, wherever it is. There's Tutukaka Marina. And that's South Gable with the lighthouse on top. Looking back from whence we came, so Taiharuru Head and Bream Head in behind. 4 Night Islands are off the starboard beam. Wind warning.
Thursday, 2 January, valid at 23:59 hours, New Zealand Daylight Time, southwest, 25 knots, gusting 35 knots about the Oval Channel, easing below advisory criteria Friday morning.
Oh, well, up here, we don't have a wind warning. That's Mate. There's a good view of the 3 gables. So now we're north from left to right. It is south, middle and north. And we're just about to lose Taiharuru. And it's getting harder to see Hen Island and the chicks. Well, there's the poor nights. Been there. And hopefully get there again in settled weather. We're now looking up the coast, and there is the hills out to Cape Brett. Stuart is keeping an eye on where we're going because he's got a more expansive view forward because the jib blocks mine to some extent. There's looking straight into Mate. Quite shallow in there, but we have anchored. The wind's quite fitful. At the moment we've got 10 knots. Coming from more forward than we've got sails set for, but there's a gust just coming and normal progress resumes. So Very frustrating conditions if you were racing. Looks like we're being passed by another cat under full sail. That's the Four Nights Islands in behind. That's Whangarei beach in behind. Oh, it's 12 o'clock. Elizabeth Reef is off our port side. A bit hard to see because there's no swell causing breaking waves, but certainly the ship was wrecked on that in the past. Time for lunch. Sandwiches, chocolate milk, and it's the autopilot remote. Next waypoint is Rimariki Islands. That's them there. I've got a bunch of the Cape Breton, and we can now see the peak of the hole in the rock island. It will be tomorrow. Oh, it's very pleasant here. Wind seems a bit more constant. We're going along at a reasonable clip. We're getting close to the Rimariki Islands now. And we're off Whangaruru, so Whangaruru Bay, the anchorage is in behind that beach. Nice place. And we're going to carry on a bit and maybe stop at Bland Bay. Current plan. We're coming up on the Rimariki Islands. You can pass inshore of these between them and the end of Whangaruru to carry on up the coast and into Whangamumu for the night, which is not far short of Cape Breton. It's looking back to the Rimariki Islands. Up that way is WAKAWAKA and Whangaruru Harbour. There's WAKAWAKA, and there's the entrance into Whangaruru. Because we don't have much wind at the moment, I'll take the opportunity of sorting this out. Some fool twisted it when they threaded it, and that wasn't me. I'll rerun it, and I'm shaking the reef out now, which means letting go both reef lines, because I took the slack out of the second reef. This is the second reef here. First reef's currently loose on the deck. Okay, reef shaken out as the wind has been consistently lower. Well, it's improved our ETA by almost an hour. This is Danger Rock off the entrance to Bland Bay. We've had a wind shift of about 90 degrees, almost certainly due to the high hills over here. Wind's all over the show at the moment, so we've resorted to motor sailing to get back into constant wind. As you can see, we're now close haul on starboard. We've been on port all day until now. So there's looking into Bland Bay. And there's a motor cab in there, and we've anchored in there as well. Might have a unforecast sea breeze. So we're now close hauled, but on track. Mind you, a little bit of help from the engine. Get past home point and then we'll see what happens. Well, here's home point. And we have the headland and thus southern entrance to Whangamumu just in front of the jib, looking up to Cape Breton and Piercy or Hole in the Rock Island. Past home point, we're sailing close haul wind angle at the moment. Okay, we appear to have enough windward gauge, so these sheets currently running at about 60 degrees and 5 knots. And I think the wind's died. So we might end up motoring the last wee bit. Well, I think there's a chance it's going to come back in from the west again. Just got the starboard engine going. It has slightly lower engine hours. So there's Home Point behind us and Rimariki Islands in the distance. Right, Whangamumu Harbour entrance is up ahead. There's vicinity of Cape Brett with Piercy or Hole in the Rock Island to seaward. And the wind has turned 180 degrees as I thought it might. Well, we're back up to 6 knots. Very pleasant again. Quite warm. Well, the wind's come back with vengeance. Coming up to the entrance now. So we'll lose the wind shortly. Drop the sails and motor in. Now we'll be going around there tomorrow. I think we're just about to lose the wind. And looking back to Home Point on the left. Right, in we head. Anchorage is up to the left. Opens up into a lovely, very sheltered area. They're pretty deep there, but they look very comfortable and happy. Right, sails down. And Stuart's just packing it away. A few gusts now coming out. We're looking up into the anchorage. Hopefully, the mast could be in the way for you. Here's the site of the old whaling station. So we're anchored here in Whangamumu. Whaling station's over there. Quite a few boats, well spread out. The beach up there. There's a track that gets over to the Bay of Islands. Leopard catamaran up in front. And here's the other side. We have what looks like an ocean liner arriving. Oh, they were there. There we go. Now they look like they're playing. Maybe trying to impress a girl. be a thrill for them in the boats. Oh, here comes another cat.